Good morning, everyone. It's always such a pleasure to meet Ambassador Mudgal. I learn so much. I mean, it's really very enlightening, sir, being with you always. Yeah, I've been on the Strategic Manufacturing Sector Skills Council, and it gave me a very different perspective of because they were all the defense PSUs and the ordnance factories and all that, and now it has been merged with the capital goods sector. They've merged it together. So the whole idea of skilling. I mean, I've been with them for the last so many years now. So the factory of the world has been taken. That's what they say. China is already the factory to the world, and we don't intend to be in that space. Actually, India is positioning itself in a very different way. India wants to be the service provider to the world, and that's where we can leverage our manpower, our no, the demographic dividend we hope to reap. That all can come, and because it's a very young population, we want to pitch it that way. So the now what manufacturing in India is today. The actually, if you look at the Indian economy, services is the larger part of the economy, which is like in a very mature economy. But we are not a mature economy. We need to create jobs also. So manufacturing is to get almost about should get 25% of the GDP share, but it's at 18, 19. It's still short of that. We need to create manufacturing jobs. I'm not saying that we don't need, but yeah, India has a huge service economy, and that's a very good sign. I mean, so from the sector skill perspective, we can absorb very much, a lot of skills. So the opportunities here lie in, see, India being a subcontinent, unfortunately, we have developed a continental culture. But we forget that we also have a huge ocean named after us. The Indian Ocean, the the ocean is like the Navy keeps putting it, it's an ocean of opportunity. And it's not just for the Navy. If you join the Navy, it's an ocean of opportunity. It's an ocean of opportunity for us, all Indians. Because the whole Indian Ocean rim, there are 44 neighbors which India has across the Indian Ocean. 44 countries which are our neighbors. And there is, mind you, a huge Indian diaspora across there also. Ambassador Mudgal has spent a lot of time in Mauritius. See, we forget that, you know, Bhojpuri is a language, an official language. They don't call it Bhojpuri in Mauritius, but if I am right, they call it Creole or something. Bhojpuri, yes. Yeah. So there's a huge Indian diaspora. There are more than 3 million people of Indian origin in South Africa. See, when I went and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, I was received by a Maasai guide at Nairobi airport, and he says, "Namaste, aap India se aaye." So I was surprised that he knew Hindi, but I thought maybe being a tourist guide, he has picked up a little bit of Hindi. But then when on the way to the hotel, he said, "Tame sev gatia khaso." No, Laddu. I said, Onesmo, his name was Onesmo. I said, Onesmo, where did you pick up this Gujarati? He says, the amount of Gujaratis in Kenya, Tanzania is amazing. The whole tourism industry is being controlled by them. So if you see the whole Indian Ocean rim, in Sri Lanka, Tamil is a local language. It's an official language. It's an official language in Malaysia. It's an official language in Singapore. See, the third largest population in Australia is Indian. So if we just leverage, there's a Malayali friend of mine who keeps saying that half of Kerala is in the Gulf, like they put it in the Gulf, and they don't give us citizenship rights. Otherwise, we would have a Malayali prime minister there. I mean, that's the amount of population which resides in the Gulf, and so what I'm trying to bring to say is that, see, if we can leverage the Indian Ocean rim, India's location on the world map is, we are a really blessed country. India is the finest location one could have imagined or asked for from God, that to be located. We are a tropical paradise right there in the middle of the ocean there, with a huge rim there. I'm a logistician. I can tell you it's cheaper to send a container from Chennai to Port Elizabeth, which is the tip of South Africa, than to move it from Chennai to Delhi. The cost of the freight is cheaper to send a container. It's cheaper to send a container from Mumbai to Singapore than to send it from Pune to Mumbai. Pune to Mumbai costs you more than Mumbai to Singapore. Can you believe this? Across the Indian subcontinent, into the Malacca Straits and into Singapore is cheaper than moving it from Pune to. So, see, over the last 75 years, the amount of Indian seafarers and mariners in the world shipping industry, we are among the top three manpower providers to the shipping industry of the world. The top three, mind you. The Chinese, the Indians, and the Filipinos are the top three seafarers of the world. But these companies are owned by Norwegians, Danes, Greeks, now the Chinese and the South Koreans. But we've yet to build a shipping industry. India needs to build a very strong industry, and that's where the skilling will come in again. We have 20,000 kilometers, like Commander mentioned in his presentation, opening up. 100 and odd rivers are being opened up for national waterways. They'll all need barges and transport cruise ships. All sorts of things will be coming up. So you need to maintain them. The dredging, the water drafts have to be maintained in the rivers. So that's a massive opportunity coming up. It's a big sunrise sector. And see, I want to give a totally different overarching thing. See, like Ambassador Mudgal said about the BBNJ, beyond biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction. There is a concept called the global commons. The global commons are those domains, those areas over which no one has any national jurisdiction. No one has any sovereignty over them. And the Americans believe that if they can dominate the global commons, they can literally dominate the world for the next 200 years. If this is what they say, what are we doing? What are we doing? Again, here, if we miss out this bus or the metro, like Ambassador Mudgal put it, we'll have ourselves to blame. See, we missed out on the Industrial Revolution and we got colonized. That is the reason we got colonized. But I was very happy when the center at the MRC center at the Swiss Center for Excellence was inaugurated. I was very happy to listen to the Swiss ambassador who said he's very keen, very eager to partner India because in Industry 4.0, because Switzerland doesn't want to miss out this opportunity, and India is already on the cutting edge of digital technology. That's a fantastic statement coming from the Swiss ambassador. I was very happy listening to that because if we again have to reap our dividend, our demographic dividend, we need to partner the Indian Ocean region. See, again, I would go further than that to say that, see, the British built the empire. There is a very famous historian and geographer, Thomas Sowell. He's an American, black American gentleman. I'm a big fan of his. And Thomas Sowell puts it very succinctly that, see, what the British Empire, what the Roman Empire did for England, unwittingly, the British Empire has done for India. What he means to say is that because the Romans ruled England, they got a sense of empire. And unwittingly, they have done the same thing for us. Thanks to them, we speak English, and they created the Commonwealth. And the Commonwealth has been built using the sea. Britannia ruled the waves. And India can definitely, there is a huge Indian diaspora in the Commonwealth again. I mean, we had the president of Guyana and Suriname in India for the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas recently. And they are both of Indian origins. They were both of Indian origins. So if we can leverage the Commonwealth, the Indian Ocean region, the BIMSTEC, all these multilaterals, India has got a huge opportunity in the skilling sector. I'm very happy to have been associated for the last 6 years with Commander Das. When I started, I didn't understand what he was talking. But it's been a great learning and very satisfying. In 6 years, with baby steps, we've come a long way. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.